When animus and anima meet, the animus draws his sword of power, and the anima ejects her poison of illusion and seduction. Carl Jung, she wasn't your salvation. She was your shadow until you vanished trying to hold her light. Picture a man staring at his phone. Her last message a cold, "I'm done." The silence isn't quiet, it's a blade slicing through the myth you built around her. Carl Jung saw this wound a century ago, a psychological war where modern women wield empowerment like a weapon, and men desperate for love become casualties. This isn't romance, it's the truth, raw, unyielding, merciless. Here we don't glorify pain, we dissect it, we let it burn. Subscribe to Philosoul not for comfort, but to face what's bleeding. Her radiance drew you in sharp, vibrant, a beacon of progress. Her words were honey, partnership, equality, a shared climb to something greater. You saw a mirror, someone to reflect your strength and soften your scars. You poured yourself into her time dreams' pride. You planned dinners, listened to her ambitions, believed every promise of we. But the warmth faded. Her smiles turned to scrutiny. "Be vulnerable," she said, but your tears made her flinch. "Be strong," she urged, but your drive was too aggressive. You performed provider, servant, fool while she sat on a throne, her eyes cold judging. Love wasn't her goal. Control was. Every step to please her tightened the leash. You planned a weekend getaway. She said it wasn't thoughtful enough. You shared your fears. She called you needy. You thought you were building a bond, but you were building her pedestal. The harder you tried, the more she withdrew her affection, a carrot dangled out of reach. You were caught in a psychological trap. Jung saw this when women stepped into male roles not as equals, but as conquerors of the masculine spirit. His clinical work revealed a shift in the collective unconscious. The modern woman empowered wasn't rising to meet you, she was consuming you. Consider James, a teacher soft-spoken but driven. He fell for a woman who called him her safe place. She loved his kindness, his patience, and his quiet strength. But her requests became demands. She needed his time, his money, his constant attention. When he hesitated, she'd cry, accusing him of abandoning her. He complied, canceled plans with friends, and worked overtime to fund her lifestyle. He thought he was proving his love. But one day he found her texts to another man, someone stronger, she said. She didn't apologize. "You let this happen," she told him. James wasn't her partner. He was her host, drained until she found a better vessel. Jung's insight cuts deeper. This isn't personal failure, it's a civilizational pattern. In the 1920s, as women gained suffrage and entered the workforce, Jung noticed the rise of the animus, the masculine shadow within women. When unchecked, it turns predatory, absorbing male energy while rejecting femininity. This isn't liberation, it's possession. You thought she wanted you. She wanted your surrender. Her body doesn't lie, even if her lips do. Evolution wired her to seek dominance, to test your frame until it cracks. Her hormones reward a man who stands unmoved, not one who bends. Jung wrote, "The meeting with oneself is at first the meeting with one's shadow. Her shadow isn't freedom, it's a hunger to control, to take your strength and wear it as her own. You made her your compass, your altar, your god. You traded your soul for her approval, and now you're lost in her maze." She wasn't a mirror. She was a leash, tightening with every step you took to please her. What if love was never the cure, only a test of how much you'd surrender? The myth cracks, and the descent begins. You didn't see the shift at first. It was subtle, like poison in a vein. Her warmth became conditional, her laughter a transaction. You tried harder, more gestures, more apologies, more pieces of yourself shaved away to fit her mold. But nothing worked. The silence wasn't empty. It was calculated, a blade to keep you scrambling. You asked, "What do you want?" Her answer, vague or cruel, left you spinning. I don't know, but it's not this. You weren't failing her. You were failing yourself, chasing a ghost who never existed. Meet Daniel, a lawyer, disciplined, successful. He married a feminist who promised equality, a partnership of minds. She spoke of mutual respect, of building a life together. But she grew cold, critical. His long hours were selfish. His stress was weakness. He tried to explain client deadlines, courtroom pressure, but she dismissed him. "You're not the man I married," she said. One night after another silent dinner, he snapped, "What do you want from me?" Her reply, "I don't know, but it's not this." Jung would say Daniel faced a woman whose animus, her inner masculine, had swallowed her anima, her nurturing feminine. She was at war with herself, and Daniel was collateral damage. This isn't new. Jung saw it as women gained rights and stepped into the world. They didn't just adopt male roles, they consumed masculine energy, rejecting their own softness. History screams the warning in ancient Greece. Amazons cut off one breast to shoot arrows, mutilating their nurturing nature. In Rome, women at the empire's peak divorced, at will took lovers, and wielded power not as partners, but as predators. Today, she doesn't need a bow or a toga. She wields bureaucracy, social shaming, and your own guilt. You're not fighting a woman, you're fighting her shadow, and it's hungrier than ever. Take Paul, a mechanic proud of his calloused hands. His girlfriend, a corporate climber, loved his authenticity at first. She said he grounded her, balanced her high-stress world. But she mocked his simple job, his basic dreams. He tried to impress her, bought her gifts, hid his frustrations, took a second job to afford her tastes. She grew distant, then left for a man with a corner office. "You're too small for me," she said. Paul didn't lose her. He lost himself, trying to be what she wanted. Jung's warning cuts like glass. A woman's unconscious is not less revengeful than a man's. It is only more cunning. Her rejection isn't personal, it's primal. Her instincts punish weakness to ensure survival. Your openness, though she asked for it, signals fragility, and her body recoils. Her anima, the nurturing feminine, is buried under a fractured psyche. The animus makes her a maze of contradictions. She demands strength, but despises your ambition, craves intimacy, but punishes your honesty. You chased her approval, not her heart. You wandered her maze, hoping to find your reflection, but found only chaos. She wasn't a mirror. She was a storm, and you tried to shelter it only to drown. Did she change? Or just stop pretending? The storm breaks and you collapse. You didn't just lose her. You lost yourself. Her critiques became your truth, her doubts your chains. You shrank to fit her throne, but it was never enough. Every step toward her was a step away from you. Mark was an artist, passionate, alive with dreams. His lover adored his creativity until she didn't. She critiqued his paintings, questioned his choices, said, "You're talented, but you're not driven." He fought back, then doubted, then broke. By the time she left for a corporate banker, Mark was a shell. His canvases gathered dust. His fire was gone. She didn't kill with poison or daggers. She was killed by stealing his purpose. The femme fatale doesn't destroy you outright. She drains you, takes your ambition, your drive, your soul, and absorbs it into her identity. When she's done, she moves on, leaving you hollow. History knows her Ishtar luring men to their doom in Babylon, Morgan Le Fay betraying Arthur's knights, the 1940s siren kissing with a knife behind her back. Today she wears a pantsuit, posts about empowerment, and says, "I don't need a man." Translation: I need a man I can break. She's not your lover. She's your shadow feeding on your light. This is the matriarchy's shadow, and it's not justice, it's revenge. Society tells you women's rise corrects history's wrongs. But Jung saw the truth. No civilization survives the unchecked femme fatale. Rome crumbled when women gained freedom, but wielded it as dominance. Owning property, divorcing, at will taking lovers openly. The historian Tacitus wrote, "The more corrupt the state, the more numerous its laws." Today, divorce courts favor her workplaces. Punish you. Media calls your strength toxic. You're not a partner, you're a host drained until you're discarded. Take Sarah and Tom. Tom, a chef, built a life around Sarah's dreams. She wanted a bigger house, a better car, so he worked double shifts. She praised his effort, then criticized his exhaustion. "You're never here," she said, ignoring the bills he paid. He tried harder, hid his fatigue, became a ghost in his own life. When she left, she took half his savings and his confidence. "You didn't fight for us," she said. Tom wasn't her lover. He was her sacrifice offered to her hunger for more. Nietzsche's warning burns. That which is done out of love always takes place beyond good and evil. Her love devours both, leaving you ashes. Her hypergamy is ruthless, primal. Her instincts seek a host, not a partner, consuming your strength to fuel her rise. Jung's negative animus turns her predatory. She doesn't love you, she loves your surrender. You gave her your essence, hoping she'd reflect it back. Instead, she consumed it, and your soul withered in her fire. She wasn't a storm, she was a leash tightening until you couldn't breathe. Let her test, let her rage. Hold the line. A storm that can't move you will either respect you or leave. You don't win by fighting her. You win by standing unmoved, your fire unquenched. The ashes settle and you awaken. The war isn't just with her, it's with the world. Laws rewrite overnight to favor her in divorce courts, stripping you of home and children. Universities teach you to apologize for your masculinity before you've lived it. Media screams your ambition is toxic, while her ruthlessness is empowerment. Alex dreamed of being a hero like the knights in his childhood books, but college branded his strength dangerous, his dreams oppressive. So he shrank, took a safe office job, nodded when women lectured about male privilege. When he asked a woman out, she laughed, "You're too nice. I like confident guys." Society demands you soften, then despises your weakness. It begs vulnerability, then weaponizes it. This is the matriarchy, and it's not equality, it's revenge. Data cuts through the lies. 90% of divorce settlements favor women, leaving men bankrupt and broken. Male executives are 30% more likely to be fired for toxic behavior, while female ruthlessness is praised as leadership. False accusations, even unproven, ruin lives. Less than 10% are confirmed false, but 100% of accused men suffer their careers and reputations torched. This isn't progress, it's payback, and it's just beginning. Jung warned of the mother complex. Men seeking female approval remain boyish, never forging their own path. Look at your friends. How many shape their words, their lives to avoid her wrath? How many live in quiet terror of her disapproval, their spines bent under her gaze? This isn't natural, it's engineered submission. A psychological cage built to keep you small. But you're not done. Find your cathedral, your book, your business, your family. Build it. Let it outlive her. The medieval stonemasons didn't carve for coin, they carved for eternity. Their stones standing centuries after their bones turned to dust. What's your stone? What's your fire? Take Michael, a writer who loved a woman who inspired him. She pushed him to write bolder, then criticized his drafts as too raw. He rewrote to please her, lost his voice, stopped writing. When she left, she said, "You're not who I thought you were." Michael wasn't her muse. He was her mirror shattered to fit her frame. But he's not broken. He's waking up. Jung's wisdom offers a lifeline. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. Your instincts scream to fight, to build, to lead. Society chains them, calling them evil, but they're your fire. Unleash them or they'll burn you from within. The mother complex traps you, seeking her nod instead of your own truth. Break the leash or you'll die small. Your soul isn't hers to claim. Reclaim it by creating something eternal, a legacy that outlives her tests. She wasn't a leash. She was a fire, and you can choose to burn or forge. When did you stop building your cathedral and start building hers? You thought her love would save you. It didn't. You built a myth that she was your mirror, your purpose, your God. But Jung's truth cuts deeper the moment you kneel for her approval. You forget how to stand for yourself. True strength isn't chasing her. It's containing your own fire. Stillness doesn't mean silence. It means sovereignty. You don't need her validation. You need clarity and a closed door. If you've walked through this fire, comment below, so no man feels like he's breaking alone. Subscribe to Philosoul for truths that cut through the noise. If this shook something awake in you, share it. There's a man out there still sleeping. This is where the illusion ends, and something ancient begins.
Thank you for watching. Walk your path with quiet strength.